Hi, my name's Fallon, and I'm here today with Chegg Tutors to talk to you about the idea of a subculture. So basically what a subculture is a culture within a broader mainstream culture that has its own separate values, practices, and beliefs. Sociologists use the idea of a subculture to explain the behavior of some social groups, and this can be based on a variety of factors, like where people live, what professions they have, what interests they share, what their age is, what their ethnicity is, what religion they practice, and so on. What's important to note is that a subculture is part of the larger culture and not a complete culture in and of itself. So people in a subculture may have their own set of values, practices, and beliefs, but they also follow the general culture that is around them. So some examples of subcultures: video gamers, country music fans, hipsters, Christians, Jamaicans, youth, teachers. Each of these subcultures have their own values, practices, and beliefs, but also associate with mainstream culture. So, for example, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't ascribe to the cultural view of mainstream music. So, just because you're Christian doesn't necessarily mean you can't listen to One Republic. Or just because you're a teacher doesn't mean that you don't ascribe to other cultural values like wanting to get married. So a subculture, again, is a culture within the broader mainstream culture that has its own separate values, practices, and beliefs. And there are many different subcultures based on things that people share. So where people live, where they work, what they like to do, how old they are, what religion they practice, and so on. There are lists upon lists of examples of subcultures, but one of the most important things to remember is that they have their own identity. They have their own separate subculture. They have their own set of beliefs, practices, values, and so on. But their subculture is still a part of the larger culture. Just because you're a teacher doesn't mean that you don't participate in the larger culture. Just because you are considered a youth doesn't mean that you aren't part of mainstream culture as well. So, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me or another Chegg tutor. Thanks for watching.